There you go. Wow. That was a tough one. The tissue originally looked like this, right? It was flexible and organized. And then it tears and it heals like...
Yeah.
You don't get that without something ripping it. The bow move is asking your spine to...
Oh my God. That's insane. So my upper back just started having really, I would say like a really aching pain at the beginning of my pregnancy.
Okay.
And I'd never experienced any sort of pain there before. I've always lifted weights and I don't go crazy, but I've always felt strong in my upper body. I think during my pregnancy, things just kind of move around and I didn't feel quite as strong. So
In between the scapula, tell me where you...
It's right here.
Okay, yeah.
And my husband has tried to help me with it, and he thinks it's like built up tissue or something of that sort.
A couple things seem to be going on. We're going to look at that poster behind your husband there in a second, which kind of shows that the joints in your lower neck can first of all give you pain here.
Yeah.
And then along with holding a child, you know, your shoulders are forward, your body's, you know, you're nursing or, you know, holding the baby all the time, which then the more forward your head goes, it elevates and pulls on those attachments.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the roots of your neck that attach in there. And so the alignment of your ear to your shoulder, pregnancy loosens you all up, progesterone makes everything looser, and then your body transforms, and then you have to kind of use that after you're done. Are you still nursing? Are you done nursing?
I'm still nursing,
Still nursing. So when levels of progesterone are still high, we can actually it's easier to put you back to home when you're still loose.
Okay.
After you stop nursing, those levels drop down, your body kind of rehardens again, and so it's kind of easier.
This might be unrelated, could be related, but I hold him on this side every time. I can't switch it. So what's it called?
I can't switch it. No,
I really can't. Like I just feel
feels awkward.
It does. So what is this like dimple called?
Posterior superior iliac spine.
It's
PSIS.
been like super, I don't want to say burning, but it's been really painful right there. So he kind of helps me. We have a hypervolt and it helps it sometimes, but sometimes it comes back. So I don't know if they're related or totally different.
Those are attachments. So the whole iliac crest, the reason why we have this iliac crest is for attachments. It's kind of why it's kind of bumpy here on this model. Like this is smooth here, and then this is like all kind of gnarly because this is where all these attachments and tendons are diving in. So this part right here is real gnarly looking because there's a lot of tendons that attach there. And so the more forward your posture goes, the more this is being pulled on.
Yeah.
Again, holding him and weight and sitting, you know, puts a lot of stress on the lower back. The lower back joints will actually refer pain to this area also. So when it gets into burning, you know, it makes me think more of the lower back's under a little too much stress. The lower back should have a curve in it. You know, the alignment of our spine is what determines how our spine ages. Not only is your ear supposed to be over your shoulder, but there's supposed to be a curve in your neck. So the military neck is no good either. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like this can be lined up from the side, but the neck can be straight, and that allows all the weight like a ladder to go to your lower neck. Same thing in the lumbar when we're sitting, you know, it might not be forward, but straight is no good either. The weight all goes right to the bottom, and then it inflames. These last two, primarily L4 and lumbar 5, end up aging at a faster rate. At 25, I don't suspect we'd be the really early onset of this, but the discs will start aging quicker on this model. They show a disc injury. We want to obviously stop that. This asks your spine to be where your spine belongs. If I put you on this and you hate me, then, well, we have work to do. Okay. But if it's easy, then have a nice life and get on your dental roll. Okay. But the same thing with the neck. They make a neck one. And these are they call this chiropractic biophysics. So there's a physics to your spine. Your neck isn't supposed to be straight. You have to get this arch back to your spine. Right? Makes sense. You gotta get this curve back to your cervical area. And so with that arches in your neck, that pain in your shoulder blade really isn't possible. The loss of curve, the forward head posture, creates pressure points. Okay. So the adjustments are used to make your spine limber, and then the stretching is what we use to fix, like orthodontistry, to change the alignment so that the certain areas aren't under constant stress. It's the alignment that creates those problems.
And when I've been working out too, I just feel like one shoulder honestly feels higher or lower than the other, and I can't figure out.
Gotcha. Yeah, your left shoulder's high, but it's we're gonna have we have a head tilt going on here also. So it's not just you have a right side avoidance.
Okay.
So your head's tilting to the left, and then what happens is it'll make you dizzy to walk around with your head tilted. So you've dropped your right shoulder to get your eyes level. We call it a righting reflex, and so you have, let's see the hips here. Hips are not too unlevel here. Hips are level, so it's really not been that long. You really just got this neck tilt going on. Even the way your arm, like this arm stays closer to your body. You're saying it's because, it's because of the head tilt. We'll feel it in your right side of your neck in a minute. If the lower neck joints, that makes sense, this whole area is controlled by this lower neck. So we call it joint pain referral. So the joints in your neck, does that make sense, can give you pain in this region, along with those attachments that I'm talking about. So it's about taking stress off this. Now, sometimes when a vertebrae is overstressed, your body will shift the weight. So if you overstress the right lower part of your neck, your head will tilt. Does that make sense, to put the weight on the other side? And then the chiropractor will look at it and go, oh, the bone's tilted and crooked. Let's untilt it. Then you throw the weight back on the injured joint and you end up hurting it more. Right? So I caution direct undoing what the body intelligently does. The reason why the lower neck is overstressed primarily is because the upper neck is tight and there's no curve in your neck. So we're going to see me in a minute. I'm going to leave your lower neck alone. We're going to work primarily up here to divert stress off your lower neck. And then at the end of the visit, we're going to aim you back into that curve position. Bend both the knees for me. Take a deep breath in, little sit up. Head back for me. Exhale for me. There we go. Let it go. Deep breath in for me. Exhale. Let it go. Exhale. Deep breath in. I got you. Exhale. Let it go. Yeah, a little too tight up there. Yeah, we'll get working. Take a deep breath in for me. And then exhale and twist. I got you. Here we go. Easy, easy. There you go. Good. Breathe in. Exhale. Other side for me. Good. Take a deep breath in. Need you to exhale and twist. Okay, breathe one more time. Exhale, twist. All right, face that for me. Okay, grab your hair for a second. Sorry. So relatively, you can see where your back is not wanting to move that much, right?
Yeah.
Your upper back, your hips are like, sure. Middle back, I don't think so. So you're going to see me, Ed, I feel like you spent a lot of time on my middle upper back. Correct.
Okay.
That area is way too stiff.
Okay.
All right, real gentle. I got you. And here's this knot here on the right side. Feel this? I mean, how large it is here on the right, and there's basically nothing here on the left. You have an injury. What did you do in high school?
No sports. This is why I can't figure this out.
Car accidents, falls,
Nothing.
skiing?
No. I have such a clean track record.
Do you sleep only on your left side?
No. I switch.
Okay.
I really can't.
Check her. I think she likes to sleep on her left too much. Tilting your head left and raising your left shoulder are the same thing. So when you lay on your left side, your left shoulder is going to elevate. It feels to me as if it's going to be very comfortable for you to be on your left side. To balance you, we want to try to not feed the monster.
Should I try and hold the baby on the other side? Is that going to affect anything?
You're saying you're only holding him on the left?
Only on the left.
Well, what that does, I mean, if you put the weight like that, you're having to do this. Do you understand? So that is feeding it, right? You're having to feed the tilt in order to center. So you have to stand a certain way to hold him on that side. So yeah, I believe part of why you're not comfortable holding him on the right is because your neck doesn't even tilt to the right very well. So it's like, I can't do it because the actual joint itself won't. The joints are like handshakes. They're supposed to come together like two surfaces gliding together. But if there's a big knot here on the right, so once we get, has anybody picked on this? She saw this? She saw this big knot here? No?
No, she didn't feel that. She went to the side of my neck, the right side of my neck.
She needs the people's elbow.
The people's elbow, let's get it. She's got it. All right. There you go. Wow. That was a tough one. I went for the big one there. I know. You okay?
Yeah.
That was a big one. I got your head. I got your chin up. There we go. Okay. All right.
You okay?
Yeah. I love it, honestly.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm scared for the elbow, but this is great.
As you should. I'm teasing. As you should be. It'll be easy. But yeah, this. Wow. I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, this is not just life. Something happened here. Brother kicked you. I don't know. Something fell off a bunk bed. Fell off a trampoline.
I don't know. I can't tie it back to something. I thought maybe it was from like repeatedly grabbing my purse behind me or something, but I feel like it's worse than that.
It crunches around. That means it was torn. You know.
Like in her rhomboid.
Yeah, those are tears. So the tissue originally looked like this, right? It was flexible and organized, and then it tears and it heals like
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get that without something ripping it.
Mm-hmm.
The fabric got, now we can make it back, our goal is to make it back to like that.
Mm-hmm.
Close, right? So something like 90-something% we can bring it back to its original appearance, kind of like hair. You have to comb the hair with a brush, and the gua sha and the thumb and all the adjustments are all tools for reorganizing the collagen, the fibrinogen in the tissue and getting it reorganized. But yeah, this is all, it's not just from repetitive motion.
Yeah, I
it
can
was
feel it.
Abuse, or most commonly it's an injury, a whiplash or a fall.
I just wish I could trace it back to an origin. That it drives me crazy that I just don't know.
I mean, like I said, I've had it from a fall off a trampoline. I've had it from people,
I've never broken a bone, so.
Okay. That, I don't.
Did you get dropped as a baby?
Maybe. Probably.
It could be. Do you know the story? Do you know the story? Do you know the story?
I was a C-section baby. Oh, you know what? They had to use, what's it called when they have,
Forceps on it?
yes. And I had a cone head, I think.
That could be it right there.
Well, they tried to pull me out that way, and it wasn't working.
Then they
so
did a
then
C-section.
I did a C-section.
Right. That could be. It could be torn.
So it's my mom's.
Right from,
Thanks, Mom. Just kidding.
It'll auto level as we stretch in a minute. So the side that's higher will actually get more pressure. You might feel like you're not on it straight. You are, but your neck is unlevel, and so it's gonna. The device that I showed you is gonna emulate my hand right now. It holds you in this curved position. This position is the same position you were in about a year old. 6 months to a year is when you developed your neck curve naturally, and it's what's supposed to take you to 100. iPhones, life, computers. We lose this curve. Hence why I have a job. We call it tech neck, or but the forward rotation is, and then not only from 5 to 20 in school, we lose the curve with nobody valuing it, and then by in our 20s now we start having these attachment pains, joints that are overstressed because the alignment wasn't cared about. So even on this left side, real quick, there's a mark right there. The mark comes out as evidence of the internal blockages, the tightness, the restriction, the acidity. So muscles, when you're contracting muscles and they don't have enough oxygen to bind to the lactic acid, the lactic acid just accumulates in the tissue. It's supposed to bind with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water, and that's the whole purpose of breathing, is to actually remove the acidity from our body. So part of this area being so tight posturally, it's choked itself, right? There's not as much circulation as it needs, and then the acidity kind of accumulates. That's what feels sore and burns. I feel that right there. That's all gotta be.
It feels awful.
Yeah. It's all got to be out of there.
That's what my back feels like when he uses the Graston tool.
We're going to clean you.
It feels like that, what is it, like, I don't know, it feels like ripped muscle or whatever.
Yeah, it's grainy and sandy.
Yeah, grainy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that knot right there is special. The only thing that will reposition this bone is holding you in this position. This is the lordosis. So have you heard the word lordosis before? No, okay. Lordosis is everything. It means the curve or the arch that your neck needs to be in. It's developed, like I said earlier, 3 to 6 months old. Every baby develops their neck arch. If you crawled when you're a baby, you develop your lumbar curve. And these arches allow the weight to be like a wheel, evenly distributed over the whole area. When that curve goes straight, like a ladder, you get pressure points. And that's what you're kind of like, it's right here, Ed. It's a pressure point because you don't have a curve in your neck. So I treat posture. Symptoms are a result of the loss of the right posture, and then let alone the nerves not only just go to your shoulder, they also go to your organs, your heart, your thyroid, your stomach. The nerves from the brain to the body is where the brain communicates intelligence through these nerves. If there's pressure on those nerves, it'd be like me sending you a text and deleting every other word, right? The message wouldn't be understandable. So the message is being tampered with because of inflammation along our spinal column. So part of that's that mark you see on your neck. As we get that out of there, that's part of clearing up those signals between the brain and the body. So you have 2 kids?
Yes, 2 boys.
Oh, wonderful. Their ages are 8 months and
7.
And 7.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
I know, crazy.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It
The hardest
is.
job you'll ever love. I know. So my son I have 2 boys that are 8 and 2. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they have a big gap.
Yeah. Aw. Yeah. These are just the roots right here. These are right here. They're the roots of your neck, and the more the head leans forward, the more the roots get lifted up. So I think of it like a panini press. We're trying to mash and compress these attachments back down. But do you see how at the end of the day, it's just kind of silly unless we get the head back, right? Because if we don't get the posture fixed, then you just leave here and it just keeps on pulling on the same attachment, and maybe it felt better for a little bit, but ultimately we got to get the head back so there's not so much continual stress on these areas. All right. And part of the reason why the stretching isn't going to work real well is because these knuckles in here are tight. Our work and life and kids and, when you're holding a baby, your chest doesn't need to be mobile, right? You lock your chest to hold a child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So lifting weights, encourages chest rigidity, holding a baby, working at a desk, right? Not many things in life require a lot of flexibility in here, and so it's easy for the thoracic cage to become tight, locked down, and then the areas above and below get overstressed as a result. So my message is to kind of check these areas, make sure they're not hurting so much to be touched. It shouldn't hurt to be rubbed in your middle back. It shouldn't hurt to be adjusted. Many people are like, oh, it's real tender. It's like, well, that's because it was neglected.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody went in here and asked the area to work as it was meant and intended to do.
This is the easy side, I think.
Okay.
The other side's the scary one.
All right. Pretty good. That's the rules of chiropractic. Always start with the good side first, and then
I figured.
then go to the bad side, and then run away.
I know, I'm like, am I going to be able to handle this? Should I even do this?
You're fine. You're fine. A lot, knottier over on this right side here for sure. But again, that's because your head's tilted left, and so these anchor points here get elevated more because your head's not just forward, but it's forward and to the left, so it pulls more on this right lower side. All right.
So yeah, we saw you on YouTube, and I was like,
Wonderful.
oh my gosh,
I'm so happy.
I wish that we lived near him. Like I would travel across the United States
No
to
way!
see
Are you
him.
like he's in Sarasota?
Yes, I looked up your office and like, this can't be real. So do I have? Is that adhesion?
There's adhesions. Yep. Glue, crunching. Oh, there's not supposed to be any crunching in here. There's not supposed to be any.
Wow.
All of that is just tension. Baby holding, nursing. Injuries. On top of each other. We're not born with this stuff. These are dents and dings, but body kind of puts it on a back burner sometimes. We have injuries, and your body, I'll do it when I get around to it, kind of idea. And so by working on you like this, we're reprioritizing, putting it higher in the queue, drawing attention to it, so that your body will actually go in here and resolve it.
Yeah, and you mentioned something about. You said something could affect like the thyroid and all that.
It's on the same circuit so the lower neck joints that are giving you this referral pain and attached, I think you have two things going on. You have an attachment pain and you have the referral pain from the lower neck joints. Well, those lower neck joints, it can also influence the nerve that goes to your thyroid. Now, no one cares until your thyroid levels get to below a certain threshold, and then everybody all of a sudden jumps on the bandwagon with me and goes, yep, her thyroid's not working. But way before you have hypothyroidism, we have thyroid dysfunction. You understand? For years. Yeah. And once it meets a certain criteria, now all of a sudden everybody says, yep, there's something wrong with the thyroid. It's like, no, something's been wrong with the thyroid for a decade. It's been underfunctioning, the person's been fatigued, metabolism's been low. I had this happen with a disc injury. I had a patient that I knew had a disc injury. They had symptoms of a disc injury. We took an MRI of them. I can see the disc injury on the MRI. The radiologist writes a report saying no disc injury. So I called up the radiologist and said, I see a disc injury. Why did you put it on the report? He's like, well, I showed him the exact slide. I said, this slide right here, look at that's a disc injury. He's like, yeah, there's a disc injury. I see it. I'm like, why did you put it on the report? He's like, well, it's not big enough.
Oh, wow.
It's got to be a certain criteria. Does that make sense for him to be able to, like a grade 1 kind of idea. So what do we got to do? Beat it up for 6 more months and then make it reach grade 1 and then everybody can agree with me that there's a disc injury? Right? It's like, no, there was a disc injury long before it finally met the criteria. The level of sensitivity is too high. Anyway, so they want it to meet a certain threshold before you're, say, diagnosable, but my point is that there's dysfunction long before then.
Right.
And that's nerve pressure. And then stress also in diet play a role. I'm not saying
I feel like I'm not a stressed person, but I feel like I have symptoms of it sometimes. But I feel like I'm not a generally stressed human.
I mean, even just like not going to bed around the same time.
Yeah, honestly, that
changes your stress. Your hour before you go to bed, what you're doing activity-wise can affect your sleep and your body's ability to rejuvenate. Oh, put your arm back down. Good.
It's crazy you can hear it.
Yeah, yeah. Like the gristle underneath, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Some people, like I said, the Americanized version can be fascia blasting. The connective tissue underneath can essentially, if the area is frozen for a long time, the layers of the tissue actually form glue in between the layers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have the fascia, the interconnecting tissue will actually get glued up.
Mm-hmm.
These marks are impeding the signals from your brain to your body. So, yeah, gastric paresis, adrenal insufficiency, like I said, the organ dysfunction is going to happen because none of your organs have self-intelligence. The brain communicates that intelligence through these nerves that come out the side of your spinal column. Mm-hmm. So if there's inflammation, those signals are being, at the very least, tampered with, restricted, blocked, right? It'd be like when one person's trying to talk to you and then two other people are trying to talk to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the signal's not being properly received.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would actually say the left side is actually more blocked up. The left's tight, and you're abusing the right here. The biggest restriction is actually more on the left. That's why I think you said earlier you were surprised the left was hurting.
I was surprised. It was actually more painful. I thought the right side was going to be the more painful one, but the left ended up being.
See, this is already moving. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's actually not going to have as big a mark.
Oh my gosh! Wow, I can't believe that side was worse.
Yeah, I mean, this is just inflammation we got to clean out here. We'll get it out of there.
Yeah.
Breathe in for me. Exhale. We got work to do right there. Yeah, I got you. Breathe. Good. You okay? Yeah, you did good. Yep. Lift your head for me. Put your forehead, bend your arms. Sorry. There you go. Cross your arms. Then lift your head for me. Sorry. Put your forehead right there on your forearms. There you go. Perfect. It's a dance. Right. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale for me. There we go. Exhale. Push your chest forward. There we go. Good. Good. Okay. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Your husband was like, "One way you bend her back." I was like, "I'll do it to her." He was more excited about that one than.
Oh my gosh!
He's like, "Get her."
Get her.
I was like, "Okay."
Well, you know what? When people fall, he thinks the funniest way they fall is the scorpion, where
Yes.
your legs go over your head. So he's all about.
I got you. Okay, hold yourself on the table a little bit. Hold yourself. There you go. I got you. Relax your ankle. There you go. Feel good. All right. I don't know. I think she's hiding something.
That is so painful.
Is it sore?
Yeah, it's so painful.
I mean, compare. I'm serious. Like,
Yeah.
you've done something to this right here, right there.
Maybe I'm just really tough and I like spraying myself in donuts.
The outside feels good. This all feels normal. But right there, I don't know. You jammed it. You went like that, and it got jammed. It's just they're joints. It's like a finger knuckle. I'm asking you to bend the finger, and some of your fingers are going like this. You understand? And then the one finger goes like that. Like that's just the way it is. Like, no, it's supposed to bend all the way.
Yeah.
There's a joint here, and there's fluid in the joint. The only reason it builds up fluid is because it gets injured and then it gets stiff, so you don't notice it.
Mm-hmm.
But long term, it's going to change how you're putting weight on your foot, and then another area compensates and gets injured. And so we want to, like I said, not let it heal totally frozen, and then crystals build up in here and plaque and arthritis. And so any tender spot you want to try to find and rub and get some blood in there. Like I said, the body diverts blood away from this area first.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes the feet and the hands are more notorious for needing mechanical work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to shine the spotlight on here to draw attention to it. There we go. I got you. Go ahead and tilt your head left, tilt left. Okay, no, there. Okay, I'll take a check. Really easy. Tilt your head left for me. Tilt left. Okay. Tilt to the right. Tilt right. There it is.
Ah!
That's crazy.
Told you. All right. Tilt to the right for me. Nothing there. Okay. All right, let me have you go on your back over here. Now with this, because that knot is bigger on the right side, the idea would actually be to be back and to the right a little bit, to actually turn your head to the right. That makes sense, to get a little bit more pressure. Sometimes I'll take my hand and I'll put it on my forehead to like press down. That makes sense, to get your head to sink into it. And then you put your hand back down and relax. It is like a mold. You have to press it in. Now your neck's going to want to rebound out of it, right? And the more you do it, the more it'll want to just stay in the mold. That makes sense? So, and the more you're worked on, the more that bruise in your neck leaves your neck. When you get home, you'll see that mark. But that mark is indicative of the inflammation that's in there. And as that joint starts to come together right now, anyway, that joint's got to come together, and that's what's going to allow you to actually get your neck back in the curved position and take that stress off that attachment.
So this is what I should be doing to get it back?
Every evening, yep.
Every evening.
Kind of hour before you go to bed, half hour. This is at evening time, kind of like brushing your teeth.
Okay.
You don't brush your teeth, eat a bowl of ice cream, and then go to bed, and then complain to your dental hygienist. You want to clean your teeth and then go to bed. You want to put your spine in the right position and then go to bed. Would be the ideal thing. Now, that doesn't mean you can't use it midday or afternoon, but the ideal time is evening when you're winding down. Here we go. Grab your hair for a second. Lay back for me. Perfect. Lay your head back. Lay it back. There you go. I know. Yeah, I know. No. Stay there, but let your head go back. There you go. I know. Keep butt down. There you go. I know. Arms up. Come on. So we're trying to open up the front part of your body, and we start at the top, and you inch by inch work your way down from your upper back through the thoracic cage, bra strap, maybe a little bit below the bra, middle back area. We don't go down the lower back, too much hypermobility down there. About every minute would be 1 inch. So go ahead and just keep your head back though, but push and roll upwards an inch. So push, good, like 1 inch, perfect. You get the idea?
Yeah.
And then
keep the butt down.
Keep your butt down, no lifting. And then bring your knees left.
Okay.
There you go, stretch. There you go. Then knees right. Kind of
Are you
like,
supposed to keep your shoulder blades down?
as best you can.
Okay.
You're ready for the neck dental roll now, but the back one, I want to get you a little bit looser. You've lost, like even in the bow move, you've lost your ability to extend. All right, show off chiropractor. The bow move is asking your spine to.
Oh my god. That's insane.
See, the roller is just a mini version of that. It's asking you, because nowhere in your life was that needed. Ed, this was needed. I had to go forward, but you've lost your ability to have all the joints as a team bend back. Potential's all there. The bow move just speeds that process. By me lifting up, I was trying to encourage that extension that we just haven't done. It wasn't, my life didn't require it, so therefore you don't use it, you lose it. You've lost our ability to bend back, and if we do that for long periods of time, those discs that I showed you on that model get too much compression on them. This is why you hear of disc herniations and disc bulges. That happens because of long-standing forward compression, because people have lost their ability to bend back. So everything in here is about making your spine limber, soft, and then arching you back, and then rehabilitating the discs. And the discs have no feeling, so it makes this whole process of, why do I want to make a structure that has no feeling feel good? Because it's going to make your spine healthier. All right. Very good. How are you feeling?
Sore, honestly. I'm surprised at how my back feels. It's crazy. I feel like looser, but sore at the same time.
You'll feel great when those marks start to go away. So hang in there these first few days. The first few days I hide.
It's a little bit of distraction.
It's like the pain that you like, though.
Yeah.
Like, I like this type of pain. I feel like I'm actually doing something.
Pleasure. All right, very good.
Thank you.
All right.